We back, chat. We in this. I don't even see what this Madden season is yet, but
Today, from GEHA Field at Arrowhead
Stadium. Ooh, this is great.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First play, Mahomes looking to throw it. That's to the former Cardinal and Raven. It's Hollywood Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards on the game's opening play. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Towards the end zone for Brown.
Catch that.
And this one is incomplete.
How, bro?
The Chiefs at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road...
That's caught inside the 20. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Powers pat, and he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are on the board first here this afternoon. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
So pretty interesting. They get the opening drive touchdown. They wanted a little more. They were looking for 8, maybe something they thought about before the game started, I would imagine.
I think you're right about that. That's discussed in your staff meeting. A decision is made. I think the head coach has to blueprint it and say, yes, let's go ahead and do that. In this case, though, let's give some credit to the guys on defense. They gave up the touchdown, but found a way to regroup and keep them out of the end zone for the 2-point play.
Here we go. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Hits his target, that's Charlie Jones. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. And they go play action now, Burrow. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Michael Dana. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he's out of bounds. Before the midfield stripe at the 49. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
What's tight? Tight end's right. What's tight? Tight end's right.
Mahomes now on first down. He's going deep for Brown. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there for KC. 71 yards. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation. To throw, it's Mahomes. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes with his second touchdown in this opening quarter as his guys are able to extend their lead. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
And as he approaches to kick it off, he might be thinking this could be a 14-0 lead with a couple of PATs as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down.
One, ready?
Here's the first carry of the game for Zach Moss. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. This defense for the Chiefs, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Maybe a good spot to take. shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Right back to Moss. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there for Cincinnati. 51 yards.
Just a breakdown there defensively. It looked like someone got their wires crossed because no one seemed to pick him up at all. He's running free, and there's not a quarterback in the league who's going to miss that throw. That's a huge play.
12-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. Throwing middle, and it's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 2nd down. Moss on the give up the middle. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Now it's Burrow. And he's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a first down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. They'll run for it with Akers. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey. 4 down.
Moss will take this one in. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. On the return is the rookie Xavier Worthy. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Still going past the 30. He's inside the 20. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, Chiefs.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
From the 29, here's second and a couple. Now a give running left with Moss. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Burrow on third down. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
They'll run on first down with Moss. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Chris Jones, the All-Pro, in on the stop. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now a second and 10.
Single, I got a single in the slot,
Burrow will throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Moss. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball. But I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can. And that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now Burrow on first down. And that one complete once again to Higgins. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very...
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. And they will finally stop him, but a great return gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. That is caught by Rice for a Kansas City touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chiefs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. Burrow looking to pass. That's complete. Once again, it's Gesicki. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On third down, Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Play action. It's Burrow. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
That was short one to Gesicki, and he slips up past the 45 before. Tackle. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Again, it's Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1. So we've come upon. Well, everyone's eager to resume play here in this Week 2 contest, so we push right through halftime and back at it for the start of quarter 3. The Bucs set to get the football first, and they trail here as we get started in the second half. Adoree Jackson on the return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. Here's a give to Moss out of the shotgun. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now Burrow to throw on second down. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted, and you can tell on the sideline. There he goes, left side. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll go up the middle here with Moss. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Burrow. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
McPherson's kick is good, and that'll get the deficit back to 16. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And fighting down inside the 25. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going deep for Brown. And he's got it inside the 10. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Marquise Brown, 71 yards. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. T. Higgins leading the Cincinnati receiving corps out for this upcoming series. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw here taken in by Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll try and run for this with Moss. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. Hardman on the return. Fights off the defender. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Here comes Mr. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, leading out this offense. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open.
He's got a man, complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chiefs will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just
now,
said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
Good luck.
he's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it. I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now Burrow. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. We're back now in KC.
Here we go.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
Throwing now, Burrow on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Again, it's Burrow on 2nd and 10. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 36. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop him. And Burrow going to throw again. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense is going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. They'll run the screen with Moss. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Here we go. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Marquise Brown, 67 yards. And the Chiefs are on their way to a 2-0 start. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Mahomes will throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals getting set to go.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Tight end to the right, boy, tight end to the right. Move. Hey,
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7.
He'll look to throw. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Third and 5.
They'll set up a throw.
That is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Going old reliable there to the slot on 3rd down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Got to try and go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. They'll wind up losing about a dozen on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
Looking underneath, he's got Akers.
And he gets it down to the 32. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Kansas City, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Oh, there's the match. Kept getting interrupted though.